The leak of the Tyranid rules prior to its launch may have given a multitude of people a glimpse into the army-wide rules the Tyranids are obtaining in 9th edition. However, there is a truth to this army that is easily overlooked by the majority of the player base. Now, I want to preface this with the fact that I'm not a big fan of 9th edition. And I'm not saying this in complete relation to the game in its current state, even though I still stand behind what I'm about to say, and that is that Tyranids are in fact the perfect army.
You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? Perfect organism. Its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility.
You admire it.
I admire its purity.
Now, you may ask yourself why I believe this is the case. Certainly, the Tyranid range itself isn't perfect. It does lack a couple of key things here and there, such as a lack of a true super heavy or certain sculpts needing to be replaced, but this doesn't impact the army's performance on the battlefield. No, instead the Tyranids' performance throughout this edition has been solid, for the most part, with the supplements. And that's not wholly down to an abusable rule set. The truth is, Tyranids can play almost any style of game they wish to, competently, something other ranges, even Space Marines, may struggle to do. This offers the army either redundancy or adaptability in almost any scenario depending on how the player chooses to build their army. For instance, Tyranids have the range and have rules to easily allow them to build an army around heavy infantry. It has the ability to field hordes of light infantry. It has the ability to field a mix between the two. It has elite builds built around Hive Guard and Gene Stealers. It has artillery builds and indirect fire support that can make even the Imperial Guard blush. The ability to push Nidzilla up the field has infamously been with the army almost every edition as well, flooding the table with enormous, chitin-covered monsters capable of acting as tanks in their own right, crushing anything before them. Fast-striking armies that come from the sky or skitter across the ground also come into place. Then there's the fact that all of these armies can be merged, turning them into a combined arms nightmare for any opponent, or focusing on a multitude of specializations. From a gameplay perspective, Tyranids can compete in any of these areas with armies built around them, or they can be built to counter them. Space Marine armies are vaunted for their diversity, but even they lack the niche to be able to play in certain spheres. There is, for instance, no ability to field a Space Marine army as a horde, really. Tyranids can not only focus on that, but they can even focus on things that Space Marines would otherwise be specialized in, such as shooting. And they can, of course, field the horde army that the Space Marines lack. Unit diversity, as well as overall playstyle, more or less means that the Tyranids aren't truly a noble army for many of their opponents before they hit the table, barring exploiting potentially broken tournament builds. From a modeling and painting point of view as well, Tyranids are extremely easy to paint and benefit heavily from contrast paints and dry brushing. Meaning for hobbyists and collectors, Tyranids are one of the best armies to collect for just ease of use in this respect. So, in my estimation, if there is a perfect army for Warhammer 40,000, if there is a perfect army anywhere, with its new Codex or otherwise, even if it won't win every game, it is the Tyranids. Thank you for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this content, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Other than that, I will catch all of you in the comment section below.